Hi, this is Roy Worley. Welcome to the interview show that brings on guests from all walks of life. Yeah, it's here that they tell their stories and delve a little deeper into their lives to see what got them where they are. So grab a drink, have a seat, and relax, because this is the Leo Effect.
When was the last time a short movie shook your emotions to the core? When was the last time a short movie caused you to rethink everything you stood for? When was the last time a short movie made you proud to be an American? When was the last time you felt the emotion to stand up and cheer after a short movie? The new short movie, I've Got Your Six, written and directed by Bill Foster, one of the industry's newest and fastest climbing directors, will answer all of those questions. Rarely has there been so much packed into a short movie that when you leave, you'll feel more proud of our American military veterans. A movie that was cast only with American military veterans will have you on the edge of your seat, cheering for our veterans and what makes America great. I've Got Your Six will be hitting the film festival scene soon. Be prepared to drop what you're doing and go see this powerful movie when it comes to your area. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Leo Effects. Now, today I'm joined by two very special guests. Normally I just say one, but today I got a duo on here, which is completely unique. Yeah, I'm like totally thrown off by this. It's gonna be great. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. These guys, from what I've read on their media pitch, is just really cool, and we're gonna go through it all. We're gonna kind of break it down and let everybody get to know them. But please allow me to introduce the R&B Pop Group Dose. How are you, gentlemen?
We're doing good. We are doing good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as you know, things are really odd right now for everything that's going on. Everybody kind of quarantined and sequestered away. So, is that affecting you guys pretty predominantly?
Yeah, there's actually, some cons and some positives to this, whole quarantine that's going on right now. We've been engaging with a lot of new fans with our social media platforms. A lot of people are in-house and they can't do much but go on social media. And we definitely wanted to take advantage of that. And we found ourselves growing with the numbers each day. Our YouTube, with our music video we just dropped, it's 200,000 views right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really incredible where this is taking off for us. So we would definitely say that there's more positives to this than cons. I mean, the cons, yeah, we wish we can perform, in LA right now in front of crowds, but unfortunately it's just not like that. But yeah.
Gotcha. So, all right, let's start off with some a little deeper of an introduction here. So, do you guys always go by your nicknames, or do you go by your actual formal names? Like, because I see both of your nicknames, and I'm kind of wondering where they come from.
Well, as far as Zay is going, you kind of shorten his name a little bit. It really depends. But my nickname came from being around Zay and producing. I was the youngest one in the room, and so people would just refer to me as a kid, like, "Oh, did you hear what the kid did? Did you hear what?" And I kind of liked how it sounded, so I went with that.
Nice. Now, are you guys related in some way, or just friends?
Our families grew up with each other, when they were kids, when they were young, and me and Eli just kind of had that relationship growing up. We're pretty much cousins, that's how close we are to each other. So we're not related, but hey, we're definitely close because of our families.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. What made you guys decide to? And I don't know if it's going to be the same answer, so feel free to answer separately, whatever you guys want to do to handle this. But like, what made you guys decide to pursue being musicians?
I mean, we grew on it. We grew up just listening to music all the time. With our families. Our families are definitely. They loved music growing up. My dad was a part of an R&B group when he was younger, and that's how I kind of just grew up listening to music and started singing myself. And as far as Eli, I mean, Eli can tell you. Go ahead, Eli.
Yeah. Me, music always has always been in my family. My parents have always loved listening to music, and been infatuated with music. But growing up, I was very involved in sports, and so my dream initially, I thought I was going to be an athlete. Go to college, maybe make it to the pros. But then I think right around the summer of my senior year in high school, I kind of got tired of playing sports. I wanted to pursue something different, and I thought back to something that I love, and I've been infatuated with all my life, and that's music. So I really got a great passion for that, and brought us here now.
Yep.
That's really cool. It's nice that it was in your family. You were pretty much born with it. It sounds like.
Yeah,
basically,
exactly.
Who was your inspiration when you were first starting out, when you were up and coming?
I mean, as far as me, me and Eli definitely, because he's a producer and I'm the singer. So as far as a singer for me, I would say Michael Jackson. That is definitely my biggest inspiration when it comes to my singing. I always try to dance like him, obviously, always try to dress like him, and then just sing like him. And I was always infatuated with his performance skills too. And so that's how I, got my voice, is always listening to Michael Jackson growing up. And then,
Yeah, growing up, I loved a lot of 2000s music. I just loved how it sounded, and so I would for sure say one of my biggest inspirations is like Timberland, Pharrell. But then really diving deep into like what producing is, I started to take note of some of the greats like Quincy Jones, Max Martin, and yeah, those just name a few of the people that
powerhouses.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And what does that mean to be a producer?
A lot of people have different meanings to be a producer. For some people, it's just making the beat and then that's it. But to me personally, I feel like the job of a producer is to make the track, but then also guide the artist or the singer and make the project complete. Like see it all the way through, to the mastering, to the mixing, to when it starts being released. And I've even taken it a step further, to perform. You know what I'm saying? Like perform live with Isaiah. Yeah.
That's awesome. And when you guys were kids growing up and you're singing at birthday parties, I'm assuming, just singing with the family and doing all that, did you guys know then that you were going to be part of something just big, something huge?
I mean, not really. Me and Eli, we kind of it just happened naturally. It wasn't forced, and I think that's the best way to go about something. Whatever it is that your passion is, never want to force something. And so with me and Eli, it was kind of, I brought the idea to him. I was like, why don't we do this, producer and the singer duo? Like, I don't really see it out there. Like, we should try. And he's like, bro, like, that sounds dope. Like, I was thinking the same thing. So I was like, from there, it just it happened naturally.
Yeah.
And there was no doubt, no second thoughts. Oh, is this gonna work? And it just felt right and it felt good. And from that point, we just knew we had something.
Right.
Yeah. You got a single out, yeah?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So did you guys do any gigs before you started doing like studio work?
I mean, to be honest, no. We had a whole promo tour set up, with certain schools. We were gonna go all around Los Angeles and promote our new single that we just dropped. And due to this quarantine and the whole COVID-19 that happened, it kind of shut everything down. But we're definitely looking forward to continue what we were starting once this whole thing is over. Exactly. So we haven't really, performed live with each other yet, but we had so many performances lined up already. But it kind of sucks when COVID-19 stops you from doing that.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I can totally get that. In that kind of idea, in that mindset, let's say, how would it work if you guys wanted to do a live concert? Like, obviously one of you is the producer, one of you is the singer. How does that jive in a situation where you're not in a booth, you're not thinking about how these things line up, you're just kind of going for it? Like, how would that work in a live setting?
Me and Isaiah have always been thinking about the coolest way of putting a live performance and amplifying our song, and we thought it'd be cool, because me and Isaiah can both dance, so like obviously incorporating dance in a performance, but also using like my production and kind of breaking down the track and kind of just deconstructing the track as we're performing. And then, once the track's all together, people obviously notice the song, and then it starts, and Zay's vocals obviously blow people away. um but yeah, that's the basic idea right now of it.
And I think, yeah, going off of what Eli said too, I think the clever thing about it is no one expects the producer to come out and just bust some dance moves or do
Yeah.
choreography. So that's, I think, one of the pluses that we have. What we want to do once this quarantine is over and start this promo tour is we want to show people, hey, the producer can actually dance too. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's not always just going to be just be behind there on the beat pad and just kind of just going. No, we want to make it unique and even throw some choreography where me and Eli can bust out and do some dance moves. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
we
sir.
definitely have that all planned out, and we want to shock the world with that. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's like the drummer coming out and like taking lead vocals. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No one expects it.
That's cool. We kind of talked about it at the very beginning of the show, but how would you guys personally describe your genre of music?
New wave R&B. Simple as that. New wave R&B. That is definitely our wave. So, we want to, we have the crazy synth sounds mixed with some current trap that's out there today. Definitely some 80s, wave music that's out that's from back in the day. So we definitely take all those elements and put them together, and yeah, it's called the new wave R&B.
Yeah, and I personally listened to it, and I'm telling all the listeners this right now. You guys are great. This is gonna be
Thank
cool.
you so much. Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Thank you, man.
For sure, for sure. What is your guys' process for creating a song? Like, do you just get together and just jam it out? Like, oh, let me try these buttons, and then you sing this chord, or how does that work?
We will in the beginning stages, from Can't Get Enough, I came down with the beat in the beginning, a simple structure just to get Isaiah to lay some vocals down, and then from there, I started building around the vocals and just adding more to it. But now recently, me and Isaiah have been making more music. We've actually been doing stuff together. Like he's been there when I'm producing and making the track for him, and then I'm there while he's recording, and we just vibe off each other and try to come up with something really dope.
I see. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
And is there anybody that you guys would like to team up with and do like a collaboration at some point?
I mean, definitely. Our list is pretty big, but just to name a few, we would love to collab with The Weeknd, Drake, Justin Timberlake, Travis Scott, all those people. We definitely, those are some top tier artists that we definitely want to work with. And as far as producers, I mean, Eli, who do you got?
I'm not a selfish producer by no means necessary. Like I will work with anyone. Like I mentioned before, Timberland, 40, he's Drake's producer. Pharrell, anyone. I'm down to work with anyone.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, given your guys' sound, I think you would mesh really well with The Weeknd. I think I would really enjoy hearing a collaboration with that.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome. What would be one message that you would like to give to your fans?
Love what you do. That's the most simple thing. Be passionate about what you do. That we can't stress that enough. You never want to feel forced to do something. Love what you do and have passion behind that. That's the biggest step. And from there, that's everything else just follows through. Never feel forced to do something. That's not the way to go, because it won't work. It won't work at all.
And it won't work with the people who support us. We want to give a special thanks to all the people who've listened to the song and supported and shared, because we won't be here. We wouldn't be here without them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd get that. I'm right there with you. It's all about the fans.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I kind of want to delve into the song a little bit more. I mean, that's kind of what we really want to do here is get word out about Can't Get Enough.
Yes.
So, like, first things first, where did the title come from? What was the story behind that?
I mean, how it all started is when me and Eli first came together and talked about being a duo, Dose. The first thing was the sound. What was the song gonna, what inspired us? So the first song that I told him was a song called "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson off his Off the Wall album, and that's one of my favorite albums from him. And so I told Eli, use this song and see what you come up with, and we kind of love that vibe, don't stop till you get enough, but we wanted to call it "Can't Get Enough." We can't, and pretty much, what the song's talking about, we can't get enough of this, this particular person, this girl's love, of her, of who she is, so we wanted to tap into that, and I'm pretty sure there's so many people out there that can relate to a song like that.
Yeah.
Whoever's in love, or
Yep.
whatever soundtrack of that person live is that,
Right.
So from there we kind of went off, and I gave that Eli that song, and from there he just started making the track and creating it and giving it those dance vibes.
Yeah.
That's what you get on it, right?
Yeah, like feeding off those Michael Jackson vibes. Everything he sung about was very deep, and like he talked about some real stuff, but you don't really capture that or really pay attention to that because you're so infatuated with the beat. Then I wanted to give that dynamic of yeah, the song's deep. It talks about someone you can't get enough of, but I also want to make you dance a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, which one of you had the harder job? Was singing it harder, or was producing the music harder?
Well, me personally, I this was my first like official project of producing. So it was a little intimidating, to say the least. But obviously we have an amazing group behind us, and Zay, he supports me all the way, and it was it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, exactly what Eli said. I think we had our challenges in our own way. As a producer, you're trying to find the best sounds, and as the vocalist, as a singer, you're trying to give the best performance with that track. If I don't give my best performance, Eli's beat is not going to be as good because
Right.
I'm not giving the best performance. So there's definitely challenges in our own way that come with that. But when we come together in our team and we get to work, we make some pretty good stuff.
Yep.
Nice. See, that was a front-loaded question, and you guys navigated that beautifully. It was all about the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, it sounds like you guys really had fun doing that. How long did it take from, start to finish to get this project done?
I'd say about roughly a month. We had some pauses in between that doing other stuff, but solid work. I would say a month from the idea to the mixing and mastering of it.
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
definitely one in the works. Yeah.
Right on. And kind of to shift directions a little bit. Well, actually, first, before we do that, let me ask, your single, where can people go to find that?
So we have all our social media platforms. Our first one is Instagram. You can go on our Instagram, and our profile is at We Are Dose, WEREDOS. We Are Dose. We're also on Twitter, Dose Music. It's DOS_MUSIK. Make sure it's a K, not a C. And we also have a song link tree, and that's also on our Instagram bio. You can click that link, and it leads to all of our stuff, our YouTube, our Spotify, all those neat things. So that's where you can pretty much find us at.
Heck yeah. And of course, I'm going to put links to that stuff in the description of the podcast. So all the listeners out there, one-click shopping, just like I like to do.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you
so much.
Yeah, for sure. So we're kind of going to shift gears a little bit. I kind of want to get to know the musicians behind Dose, if you will, and ask the not super personal questions, but some stuff that, people might not know about you. Like, for instance, what do you think might be your most useless talent?
Most useless talent, I'd say. Okay, well, one that I've had for a minute would say I can juggle, which I don't know why I would need that. And then another useless talent, besides bettering my music, I would say I learned how to flick cards during quarantine.
Nice.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's kind of what I was gonna say too. I mean, Eli taught me how to start flipping cards out of nowhere. I mean, during this quarantine time, you kind of just find different things to do out of nowhere. You just make stuff up or learn things from different social media platforms, I would say. And from there, you kind of just start going. And you just would think, like, I would never have done this if I was not in
Yeah,
quarantine.
yeah, exactly.
But, where we are is this. And so, yeah, I mean, me and Eli are around each other a lot. So we kind of just piggyback off each other and just, let's just do something useless and figure something out. I don't know, when we have our break time from our music. So, and he actually just was teaching me how to golf properly. So
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was pretty cool too, I would say.
That's legit. Where do you guys think you would be? Like, what do you think you'd be doing if being musical artists didn't work out?
Oof. To be honest, I mean, I've never thought of that because I've always felt just growing up, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I've never had second thoughts of me singing or if this is not going to work out. I always believed in what I'm doing. A quote that I always go by with Walt Disney is all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And you just have to have the courage to pursue it. And that simple as that, not have second thoughts. So for me, I would say personally, I've never had second thoughts of not quote unquote making it or not doing something with my talent that I have. I mean, I don't know how Eli is but
Yeah, I wasn't that wasn't my case scenario, but before I was doing music, I was actually working with my dad in construction. He's a general contractor. I was getting pretty serious in that, and I think if it wasn't for music, I would still be doing that right now.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Well, you guys grew up together. You obviously are very close. You've done a bunch of stuff. Like, what's the most trouble you guys have gotten into?
no trouble. I mean, trouble. We've never really got into any trouble. We don't really, we're not trouble kids. I would
Yeah.
say we just focus on our music a lot, and we, our passion is our passion, and we're focused. Tunnel vision always. We have fun here and there, and we do stuff, but we never really get into trouble at all. Like we don't put ourselves there. We always want to have a high standard for ourselves and always meet that standard. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the closest thing that it's not even trouble, but it would be going to 7-Eleven at like 4 in the morning to get snacks during recording sessions.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get those late night cravings, and it's like, do we want to do this? This is bad. We shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna be singing right now. It's gonna mess up my voice. But you know what? All right, let's just go do it.
Yeah.
7-Eleven is just right there. Why not? But other than that, we really don't get into too much trouble. We stay away from that. We always want to have positive vibes, and
We're good boys.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Perfect. Well, that's good to have. Like, you want that positive role model image. But what about hobbies? What do you guys do for hobbies when you're not recording and producing and getting all into the music?
I think my top hobby would be golfing. I do that on occasion. That and just being very athletic. Sometimes I do miss being athletic when being in music. You're kind of inside all day long. But yeah, just being outside, being athletic. That's pretty much it. What about you, Zay?
I mean, for me, I'm different. I'm definitely a nerd when it comes to horror films. So in my spare time, I like to collect masks. Michael Myers was one of my favorite movies. So I like definitely collecting masks. It's just weird of me. Eli always is afraid to go in my room. But I'm a super a geek for those type of films. I love collecting Funko Pops. I don't know if you ever heard of those. They're just little. Yeah, I love collecting those too. I don't know why. I'm just infatuated with them. I think they're really cool. I'm also into basketball a lot too. I'm kind of sad right now because I can't see the Lakers play due, to the NBA being closed. But other than that, that's pretty much my hobbies. I'm not really of a outdoor sports type of person, but yeah, those are my hobbies.
Cool. What kind of do you guys have a favorite food or a favorite restaurant that you go to? I mean, when we're not in quarantine?
My favorite food is spaghetti. Spaghetti has always been my favorite food growing up. So that's my go-to always. Any Italian place that has spaghetti, I am all there. You're gonna catch me there, and that's it. So I'm definitely there. Eli, sushi, right, or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. My favorite food is definitely sushi. I was brought up on that. My mom was eating that while I was still in her belly. Um, but yeah,
Oh yeah, sushi's
that's
really good too.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty rad. Like you guys are just normal dudes with an awesome talent. That's
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
that's awesome. That's beautiful to hear.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
But along the lines of, being awesome and having this just amazing career that's going to be kicking off with your song, and just I'm sure there's so much more coming for you guys. What advice would you have for somebody who's just starting out that has, the talent or the capacity to do it but doesn't know really what to do?
I would say, keep working on your craft, perfect your craft, put in them hours. Cause it's really hard for you to fail if you really put in the work. Cause something you have the talent, you're gonna have the talent. You just gotta put in that work to amplify it and make it into something special.
Yeah, discipline yourself. That's pretty much it. Position yourself to be disciplined. That's the key.
All right, that's some really awesome advice. Like I think that's concise and spot on. Beautiful,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
This last little part of the show here, I kind of like to do this little shameless plug thing, and we kind of did it before already, but I want to make sure that everything's together and that the listeners can hear it one more time. Can you just repeat your social medias so that people know where to go look?
Yes, absolutely. So the first one I'm going to start with is Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at We Are Dose. It's WERERAREDOS. Our link tree is right there as well on our bio, so you can click that. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all those things is all there. You can also just go on YouTube as well and just type in We Are Dose, and you can find us there too. And on Twitter, it's a dose_music, not with a C, but a K. So
Yes,
those
sir.
are all our social media platforms. You can follow us on there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to like, comment, share the video with everyone you know.
Singles called Can't Get Enough.
Yes.
Make sure to check it out. Leave a thumbs up. Put a comment. Share with your friends, family, and yeah, continue to support it.
It definitely got the quarantine vibe. So
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
there.
sir.
For real, that's awesome. I love it. You guys have been nothing but amazing this whole interview. I really had a really fantastic time talking to you guys. You're full of energy, full of fun. I think that you guys got a huge future ahead of you, and I can't wait to follow along with it. So thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
thank
having
you.
us. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Really do.
Yeah, and thank you to all the listeners who tuned in to check this out. Make sure to click the links and follow along on the social medias for Dose. You guys are not going to want to miss this. I cannot possibly stress that enough. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time. Oh, now that was an awesome interview. Thanks so much for listening. You all are so great. And don't forget to head to Facebook, Insta, and Twitter and follow The Leo Effects. If you want to hear some comedy and ridiculous voices, check out Shattered Dungeons on YouTube and all other places podcasts can be heard. And you'll hear me voicing crazy characters, usually pretty terribly. So thank you so much. You all are the absolute best. And we will see you all on the next episode.